What's going on? What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy, Sergeant Sosua, and today I am joined with my battle buddy, my roommate, and we're going to cover our second Veterans Network event held at the famous Flip Flop Sports Bar. If you missed it, you missed some great information. You missed some great people, and we had a good time. But I'm going to bring John in, and we're going to get right to it. What's up, brother?
Feeling good, feeling good. Still recovering a little bit from the Presidentes at the event, but I'm coming back to the real world.
Those shots got me, bro. It took me 2 days to
Yeah,
recover. two
it
days.
takes a lot to put on those. It takes a lot to put on events. I mean, anyone who's ever like put forward events, I think, can tell you like it takes a lot out of you, a lot of planning, a lot goes into it, and at the end, you're kind of just like, I mean,
Man,
I had a great time, but it's still, afterwards, you definitely have the hangover effect of after an event.
yeah, man. I kind of, it's similar to me, like getting ready for a championship basketball game. I ain't playing a lot of them, but the couple I did is the pregame trying to get mentally ready, and then afterwards, after the high, it's just kind of like, man, I need a day to just sit back and chill. And luckily, we got some rain out here, so we weren't moving around anyway. We ended
Yeah,
up being
and
in.
the second event was, I mean, we kind of stepped it up from the first event. Anyone who came to the first Veterans of Paradise event, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of good networking and everything. But this event was cool. We had more sponsors. We had microphones. We didn't have to yell and things like that. So kind of like the improvement on it, I think was cool for people who came to the first one and then the second one as well.
Yeah, definitely, brother. Because a lot of when we're talking about a lot of the planning, man, a lot of this was going to these organizations, to these businesses, and eye to eye, speaking with them, seeing what they're about. I tell all the vets that we're doing our best to vet a lot of these companies and people that support us. Vet them out the best we can. Right? We're not perfect. They're not perfect, but just so when we do say, hey, this is somebody we deal with on the North Coast in this area that we have a personal experience with them. We're not just saying it because we've seen them on a website or something like that.
Yeah, and connecting veterans to these resources is like the whole thing. Like someone there who's like, "Hey, need an electrician," and it's like, "Hey, here's a card for an electrician that I use, who's great." And little connections like that can sometimes mean the world. And there are a lot of veterans that came out to this event that had never done anything with the veteran communities here, had never been to the clinics or anything like that. A lot of veterans have traveled from different places in the island to come, and these events really do matter because, like, you need community here more than you do in the States. You actually need it more because you don't have your friends, you don't have your family, you might not speak the language fluently. So there's these small connections can really make a big difference in the lives of veterans and their families here in the Dominican Republic.
Right. Just like we're in the military, you look to your NCOs and your senior NCOs for guidance because they have the experience. And at these events, you're going to meet people that's been here for 10 years, 5 years, 20 years. They have kids. They know where the schools are at. They know about transportation, buying a car, like any of the things you need uh, you're gonna find here. And what I love about our event is we do all, the raffles and the performances, and we do everything we do. But then we kind of let everybody go and say, hey, whatever you are interested in, go find that person, sit down, have a presidente, and y'all talk it out and see if they can help you. That's what I love about our networking events. It's not too structured. You know what I'm saying?
No. And that's what people didn't like about the military. It was a lot of stuff. So for us,
Right.
for what we're saying is like it's about getting a lot of the people in the same room and being like, hey, this is our veteran family here. This is our Dominican family. These are our brothers and sisters, and this is how we can form these connections to help veterans who might be interested in healthcare and buying a house and getting residency and a million and one things. So that was cool to see. And I think these events really do matter for a lot of people. Like people look forward to it, people come to it. And even though it's just our second one, I already have people trying to come for the next event who are interested in moving and living abroad. So it's kind of cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
man. I got to talk about one of my highlights. I'm always big. We're always big on how the Vietnam vets are like our superheroes, like our Avengers, and to actually have a Vietnam vet that lives here on the North Coast attend our networking event. We were, blessed with the opportunity to present him a coin and let him speak on some of his experiences. And I honestly believe it touched a lot of people because, we're losing a lot of those guys. So to see one living abroad like we are and be able to hear him speak and, talk about his experiences and how it's changed his life, man, that was big for me. That was probably the highlight of the event for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, me, I like seeing the female veterans there, like when all the female veterans were together and talking. I think
Yeah.
moving abroad and, especially Dominican Republic, there's a lot more male veterans here. And that's kind of who I'm like comfortable talking to. Like that's
Right.
the life that I understand. But then
Never
seeing the
forgot.
female veterans get together and communicate and share resources and talk about things like schools and talk about being a female veteran abroad and some of those kind of special challenges that, they face was cool for me too.
Definitely, and they open my eyes to some things that, as men, we don't think about some of the things they're in the transition. They're worried about a little bit more
Mhm.
than we would be. So to hear that, I was jotting it down, kind of to hear what their concerns were as mothers, as wives. It opened up my eyes to what they're looking for versus what the men are looking for. We're probably a lot more simple, and they're definitely more detailed in their things they're looking for to make themselves comfortable. But it was a good experience. I I, I love seeing them, and we got a good photo of them. Thanks to Henry. Thanks to Henry, we got an amazing photo of the female vets. Um, some of the people. Let's talk about some of the experts we had attend this one. I'll let you start. Just some of the people that we were able to get to the event and actually show their expertise.
Yeah, what I like about the events is having it at Flip Flops because he's such a great resource of someone who's been here for 20 years and people know him from like the internet and YouTube and running a restaurant here and things like that. And a lot of veterans do want to be entrepreneurs here. A lot of veterans want to come here and start up Airbnb businesses or restaurants or even like a beach bar or something like that. So him being there and hosting the event and being at his place, I think is really cool because he's able to lend a level of expertise being here 20 years that I think is, you can only find through that experience. You can't replicate that in any other way.
Definitely. And with Flip, it's so funny because Flip's been here 20 years, I think 20 years. And I get a lot of vets like, man, I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna start a restaurant. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I keep telling them, look,
A
before
lot of
you do
work.
any of that, please come sit with Flip for about an hour and see if you have the same
Yeah.
same energy when he's finished talking to you. Not saying you can't, but definitely get the insight from him because he knows all the ins and outs.
It is harder to make money here than people think. I think a lot of people come here expecting like, oh, I can just start a business. And when I first got here, I thought about opening like a little beach bar because I was like, I could rent the spot for $300 a month. And then I thought about like having to report to work every day, having to like deal with
Yeah,
vendors, customers, and clients. So it's a lot. So I think him being a part of our kind of Veterans of Paradise family is a really beneficial thing. And him hosting the events and putting on specials, doing all that stuff and creating a welcoming environment for veterans. I really gotta say I appreciate him for that and the
yeah.
work that
Shout
he's
out to
willing to
Flip.
do because when when it came time when we're raising money to try and give back to the community here, he's the first one to come in and put money in the jar and say, listen, I'm paying for two of them myself, and showing that kind of leadership, I think says a lot about what we're trying to do, the kind of people we want to associate with, and our Veterans in Paradise family here because a lot of expats do come here and it's just take, take, take. And what we're doing is demonstrating in very real ways that we're giving back, not only to our veteran family, but also the communities of the North Coast and the Dominican Republic.
Right, and you have to connect yourself to people that's already doing that. Like
Yeah.
Like you said, Flip's a staple in the community from the toy drives to the school. I think when I first met Flip, he was doing a school supplies drive when I first met him, and a lot of vets donated. And I remember him telling me as soon as I told the vets, "Hey, this is what Flip's doing," he texted me that day and was like, "Man, y'all don't play around, man. Like I got like $600 in less than 30 minutes." I said, "No, this is what we do, and this is what we're known for. The good
Yeah,
part of it.
and that's what
You know,
the Veterans in Paradise events, like I said at the event, we have two main functions. One is to create a supportive and collaborative community for our veteran family living abroad here in the Dominican Republic, connect them with resources and everything they need to live their best life after service. And second, to give back because so many expats come here and it's just take. And what we want to do is show that we're also giving back. A lot of expats bring the worst of themselves abroad, and we want to bring the best of ourselves abroad and show that veterans are a force for good, not only for our country, but everywhere in the world. And wherever we go, we're going to have that positive impact. So we have to keep pushing that out and let people know like we're here for ourselves, but we're also here for the world, for the community.
Right. And I just have to tell this short story. Our landlord, I love her to death, man. She's amazing. And we were speaking the other day, and she said, I love renting to veterans. And right now, she has about 12 veterans, on the North Coast that
Mhm.
she rents to. And I asked her why. I said, why are we so different? And she said, you're clean, you're quiet, you don't complain, and you're patient. And I was like, that doesn't sound like a veteran at all. Nothing
Well, you
about
get you get used to
quiet.
not complaining because you can't complain in the
Right.
army. Who are you gonna complain to?
Exactly. I said, well, veterans, it's different being, active and being a veteran. Now that we're out, we're like, sometimes we're like spoiled brats. So I was shocked to
Yeah,
say that, but I understand what she's saying is we are going to take care of our living conditions. We're going to be more respectful of other people's space. Not saying everybody doesn't do it, but to hear her say that to me when she said, I'll rent to all vets if I could. Now that warmed my heart. I
yeah.
was like, okay, we are out here making a positive impact.
You always have to leave things better than how you found them. And I'll let you touch a
Right.
little bit on the real estate resources that we had at the event because the Dominican Republic is a fantastic place to invest if you're looking to do that. Taxes are incredibly low. I mean, when I think about the taxes I paid for my home in New York, coming here makes that seem like absolutely criminal. So if you are looking to like buy a property, the Dominican Republic is one of the best places to do it because we have full property rights because of the low taxes and because of lower cost of living. So I'll let you kind of talk about some of that aspect of it.
Yeah, and definitely we had Realtor DR come out and brother Pastor Wilson, who also has a church here in Sosua. I went and spoke to him. We had about an hour conversation. He talked about his family, how a lot of his best friends are veterans, how they're coming down here and they're trying to buy property, which was pretty amazing to hear his story, especially as an athlete, what he went through in college. A lot of times people always say, "Man, I didn't serve, but all my friends are veterans," so I deal with them. So we had a great conversation, man. I gave him a coin. There, his heart was touched. I almost felt like a CSM, and I never made it that far. So I kind of felt like a CSM at that moment.
Yeah,
but
and we'll put out his information in our newsletter that'll come
definitely,
out. So if you're interested in talking about moving and living abroad and actually buying a property, he can talk you through the costs, the down payments, the
right.
investments, and all those kind of stuff.
And shout out to Really the DR. They're one of our contributors to our fundraiser. I spoke with the owner. He's amazing. As soon as I told him what we were doing, he seen the laptop. He said, "Man, those are pretty cool." He said, we'll get X amount for you guys, and it was amazing because he came to the event, he showed his support, and really the DR is some good people, kind people, and they take their time. They take their time with
Yeah, and it's one
being
thing
around
when people, when we talk about the vision for what we're trying to do to bring veterans here, we talk about a vision of giving back. And when people are so supportive of that, and immediately like you can tell who's there because they pull out their wallet and they say, okay, here's enough money for 3 laptops, for kids here. It's like, wow, we really appreciate that. So definitely big shout out to Cornell and their whole team over there because they are putting their money where their mouth is. And in this world, so few people
exactly.
actually do that. And then when you do that, it's like, okay, hey, if you're a veteran, like these people are trustworthy, they have great deals, they're all over the North Coast of the Dominican Republic. It's owned by a retired cop, so he understands kind of a lot of the mental health struggles
The
that veterans
mental
might
health,
face.
exactly.
So like I mentioned, sign up for our newsletter at veteransparadise.com, and we're going to be putting out their information. And when you come down here, you know, check it out.
Definitely. We're going to put everybody that showed up, if they have a link, you look down below, we're going to link all their websites so you can go there and get any information. And then we are also going to add a tab to Veterans in Paradise where it has veteran-friendly businesses. We're working on that now. We're still going through the vetting process, but we're going to start putting the information on there too. So if you want to come here and you want to find out a dog groomer, like we said, a realtor, a woman that owns a bakery, shout out to them who donated some bakery there. We're going to have those links there so you can contact these people here on the North Coast. So
Yeah. And
definitely.
our next event is going to be on the 26th of this month of April, and it's going to be at Chuka DR, which is like an adventure place where they have kayaks, zip line, ATVs, buggies, kind of all the fun shit that that's good to do because with every event, what we want to do is let's have this event where we bring together people to talk about things like real estate, to talk about things like healthcare, to talk about things like friendship, but then let's also have a good time because that's you don't
Have a
move
good time.
abroad
Yeah.
not live a fun and better life. So let's move abroad. Let's have a good time. Let's share some beers. Let's share some stories, and let's heal, thrive, and grow together as a community. So that's what Veterans Paradise is about. It's not, it's about enhancing veterans' qualities of life, providing information about moving and living abroad, and then leading you to help you achieve the higher quality of life. Because, if you come here, it's like, okay, now I'm here, but now we're trying to build this community of friends, of brothers and sisters. So that's the next event on 26th of this month.
And we're gonna have a good time. Like we said, we paraglided, we jumped off of mountains, we jumped in rivers, we've done a little bit of everything. So I had to call my battle down this time, man. He was trying to do something crazy. Say, hey man, we got some older
Now we're
vets.
ziplining across the ocean.
Yeah, we're just gonna zip line across the ocean. Hey, look, everybody, we appreciate your time. We're not gonna be on here long. This is your boy Sergeant Sosua. I'm on here with my battle, my roommate, John, the writer. Hey, brother, before we go, your introduction was better than a boxing match at the networking event, man. You look, man, that was the best introduction of my life, brother. I can't stop watching it. I
We'll have
sent
to
it to
get
my
that.
kid
We'll
because
have to
like
get that.
y'all are
I'll have to get
disrespectful.
that whole video. But that's what's
We
about
got to
having
get
a
the
good
whole video.
time. And Rico did an amazing performance.
Amazing job.
Especially with it's so beautiful to see veterans like that and creating stuff. So at the next event, we're hoping to have even more veteran creators, veteran art, veteran
Right.
stuff to highlight some of the things. So if you are a veteran and you want to come, you want to perform, you want to promote your business, you want to do anything like that, we're creating that platform for you. If you're a veteran here in Dominican Republic or abroad, so reach out.
And if you have any suggestions on what you might want to see at the next networking event, drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. We'll consider it. We'll look at it and see what you guys are looking for. But again, it's your boy Sergeant Sosua. That's my boy John, the writer, my battle, my roommate. I appreciate your time,
Out.
brother, even though we in the same house. We'll see y'all on the other side. Hit the like and subscribe button.